People's big old heads in the way. Are you going to move up to Sabi's group? Are you going to be quiet and pay attention?
Yeah.
Okay. This is really not working for me here. No, it's really not working for me here today because I glued this in. I knew better. There we go. All right. So now my polynomial has 3 terms. Okay. The first thing you need to ask yourself when you're factoring a polynomial is there a greatest common factor? So look at x squared plus 2x minus 24. Is there a number I can divide out?
Yes.
1.
No.
1. I've got 1, 2, and 24. Is dividing by 1 going to do anything? No. We move on. Is there a variable that they all share?
Yes.
No. 24 has nothing. Okay. The other 2 terms have x, but 24 has nothing. So we have no greatest common factor. So most of you are going to look at this point and say, well, I can't do anything. Wrong. You can now factor this. So we need to factor what I call my C term. My C term is your constant. So we're going to find the factors of negative 24. So what numbers can I multiply together that will give me negative 24?
Negative 6 and 4.
Negative 6 and 4.
Negative 24 and 1. Negative 8.
Negative 24 and 1. Hold on. Negative 24 and 1. Negative 6 and 4.
Negative 8 and 2.
Negative 8 and 3.
That's it.
Anyone else?
Okay.
Negative 22.
Negative 12 and 2.
Negative 3 plus 1. Negative 1.
What? Okay.
Negative 3 and 8.
Same thing as negative.
No, it's not. And watch why. So, Husto said negative 3 and positive 8, which means I can also reverse and do negative 2 and positive 12. I can do negative 4 and positive 6 and negative 1 and positive 24. Okay, because that's a negative, I know that one of my numbers has to be a negative. It could be either or. To multiply and get a negative number, I need 1 negative and 1 positive. So all Husto did when he said negative 3 and 8 is he switched which one was negative. Now, I need to figure out which one of these are going to go together. Which one can I add together that's going to give me this middle number? Which ones can add together to give me positive 2? So if I go through, this is negative 23. This is negative 2. This is negative 5. This is negative 10. This is positive 5. This is positive 10. This is positive 2. This is positive 23. Okay, so when I got to negative 4 and positive 6, that gave me a positive 2, and Andrew said it's that one. Okay, so these are your factors. Once you identify your factors, this becomes x minus 4 and x plus 6. And you're done. Know how to find. I didn't think about that. Yeah, we can do that. Yes or
Sometimes
no?
it's a struggle, especially if it's larger numbers. If you struggle finding what the factors are, you can go on your calculator. Everybody should have theirs. Go to,
Everybody has their calculator, correct? Well, if you don't, I suggest you get up and get it quickly.
did his get sent down to ISS? Is that what his is?
Mhm. It got sent down. He has it. He just wants to watch the video from yesterday right now, and I told him no. Rayvon should have brought this down to you yesterday. He didn't bring you down the. I've got one more. Okay, so my suggestion to you. My suggestion to you, you already know because it's negative 24 that one of your numbers needs to be negative, one needs to be positive. So we don't have to worry about the negative. But if you can't figure out what multiplies together to give you 24, because like Ms. Blackwell said, somehow you might end up with 182. If you can't figure out what your factors are, you're done for. Okay, so if you go to y equals in your calculator, whatever you're trying to find the factors of. So let's say we're trying to find the factors of 24. And you hit 24 divided by x. And then you go to your table. So you hit second graph.
24.
Here are all of your factors. 1 and 24, 2 and 12, 3 and 8, 4 and 6. Notice then it starts to repeat itself. 6 and 4. Those are all of your factors.
Wait, what did you do next?
You can, but then it's a pain because they've got to find the negative 6 and the positive 4. So I kind of just tell them to make sure that one of them's a negative, one's a positive, whenever it's a negative number. Okay. What?
So you're not gonna look at the ones that have decimals.
Clear out your calculator. Somebody probably messed with the table start.
I got senior stuff.
I teach seniors too. You've got to clear out your calculator. You know how to do that. Come on now. I got senior stuff in here. They have to use these too. I don't have a class set for everybody.
Don't just put your phone in the pocket.
Yes,
Why?
because I make them. Okay, so my next one. I'm trying to find factors of 100. So go to y equals and put in 100 divided by x. And then go to your table.
Got 100.
So my factors of 100 are 1 and 100, 2 and 50. We're going to skip 3 because they're not whole numbers. 4 and 25, 5 and 20.
6 and 16.
No, not 6 and 16. 16 is not a whole number. Skip 7, skip 8, skip 9, 10 and 10.
10. That's perfect.
Okay. So these are all of your factors of 100. Am I looking for positive 100 or negative in this one? Positive. Okay, so I'm looking for positive 100. So I keep them positive, or I would change both of them to negatives. Okay. So when this is a positive number, I either need to have 2 positive factors or 2 negative factors. Because remember, a negative times a negative gives me a positive. Okay, so look at your middle number here. I need a negative 20. I need to add these together to get a negative 20. What can I add together to get 20?
Add to
Which 2 numbers add together to give me 20? 10 and 10. And because I want a negative 20, this is negative 10 and negative 10. Because negative times negative gives me a positive, and negative 10 plus negative 10 gives me negative 20.
So a negative plus a negative is a positive? A
No.
negative?
A negative plus a negative is a negative, but when you multiply them, it becomes positive.
I thought when you were adding together.
Okay, so let me put down everything we just put on that whiteboard. So we had 1 and 100, we had 2 and 50, we had 4 and 25, we had 5 and 20, and we had 10 and 10. And I want this to be 20, and I want it to be a negative, so we switch the signs to both negative. So we choose this one. So my answer is going to be x minus 10 times x minus 10. Okay. Take a look at both of your factors. They're the same. I can also write this as x minus 10 squared. Both of those answers are exactly the same.
All right, let's do our.
Okay. Questions? Okay, that's all we're doing in that foldable today. So you're getting 2 new foldables today. This is the first one we're gonna do.
21.
You promised my friend's coming back tomorrow, right? Yeah. Got Miss Texas. Did you say Joe's coming back? Adios. Okay. Don't worry about folding it right now. Let's just do it. Okay? I will tell you when to fold it when we're ready to fold it. Okay. With this one, factor the expression below. Again, we want to find the factors of 18. This one should be pretty easy, so we don't need to go to the calculators. So 18. 1 and 18. 2 and 9. 3 and 6. And that's it. Okay, I want these to go together to give me 9. Which ones go together to give me 9? 3 plus 6. So this is x plus 3 and x plus 6. No. I mean, if you're good with your factors off the top of your head, I'm okay with you not using the table. I'm going to use the table every time for those students that need it. But if you feel like you're okay without it, go for it. Okay? All right, let's look at 1. So I just heard 1 and 30. Whoever sounds like the old man back there. 2 and 15. 10 and 3.
6 and 5.
6 and 5. It doesn't matter which order you put them in. Anything else?
No.
No. What am I trying to add to get? 11. So which ones are we choosing? 6 and 5. So x plus 6, x plus 5. So 1, it is a lot easier when my C value is positive because I don't have to worry about which one's negative, which one's not.
Next one's hard.
There's another one.
Okay? 16. What do we got?
4 and 3. Oh, wait,
4 and 4, 2 and 8,
6
1 and 16,
and 3. No.
6 and 3.
Wait.
That's 18, sweetheart.
That's it.
Okay? That's 8. Which ones go together to give me 10?
2 and 8.
2 and 8. So x plus 2, x plus 8. Who said I'm going too fast? Good. Tomorrow it's going to get real difficult when I change your A value to something other than 1. Oh, you know I got to be extra.
What if they have more than-
The A value is the number in front of x squared, the coefficient in front of x squared.
I do a negative.
Okay. This time I've got a negative 21. So negative 21 and 1 or negative 1 and positive 21. Remember, when I have a negative, the negative has to go with one or the other. We need to look at both. So you said I heard 3 and 7. So negative 3 and positive 7
-7 and positive.
or negative 7 and positive 3.
And then you have both of them. You get-
Okay. Anything else?
Oh.
No. I'm trying to get negative 4.
-3 plus 7.
Careful. Negative 3 plus 7 is positive 4.
Oh, -7.
Negative 7 plus 3 is negative 4. So I want these ones. So this is x plus 3 and x minus 7. Okay? It's important when your C value is negative to make sure that you have the negative with the right value. Okay? So be extra cautious.
12, 4, 9.
Okay. Negative 36. So positive 1 and negative 36.
-6 and positive
What,
6.
9?
Hold on. I'm going to try to do them in order. I always do my 1s, my 2s, my 3s. So 2 and negative 18 or negative 2 and positive 18. 3 and negative 12 or negative 3 and positive 12.
Oh, 4 and
4 and 9.
negative.
So 4 and negative 9 or negative 9 and 4. I ran out of room. Negative 6 and positive 6. Okay. I need which ones that's going to give me positive 5.
Positive 4. No. Positive 4,
4
negative
and
5.
negative.
No, it's negative.
Oops, sorry. I wrote them both the same instead of opposite. Positive 9 and negative 4. Give me 5. Yeah, I wrote them both the same instead of. So, positive 9 and negative 4. How can I check and make sure I did this right? How do I know that this is correct? How do I check myself?
Calculator.
No, you can't use the calculator. If I gave you this and told you to multiply, what would you do?
Foil. I'll foil it.
Foil it. What's x times x?
That's square.
That's weird.
What's x times negative 4?
Positive 4.
What's 9 times x?
9.
And what's 9 times negative 4? What happens when I combine my like terms?
You get 5. You get 5.
Does this match my original problem?
Yeah.
Your answer's correct.
Where you going?
Oh, bro.
All right, bro. Okay. 9. Factors of 9.
1 and 9, 3 and 3, and it's 1 plus 1. But
Okay.
that'd be negative.
So, Huso said 1 and 9, 3 and 3. And he said it's going to be 1 and 9. But look at my middle term. It's negative. So, to make this a negative 10, this has to be a negative 1 and a negative 9. Because again, negative 1 times negative 9 is a positive 9, but negative 1 plus negative 9 is a negative 10.
So
X minus 1, X minus 9. You said it backwards. One and 42. 2 and 21. 3 and 14. 6 and 7.
And then both of them have their negative.
Okay?
Yeah.
So, Husto just said because we have negative 13x, that means they're both going to be negative. So, negative 1 and negative 42, negative 2 and negative 21, negative 3 and negative 14, negative 6 and negative 7. Negative 6 and negative 7 give me negative 13. So, this is x minus 6 and x minus 7. Okay? You all right?
Oh.
Said no?
Oh.
Oh.
Okay. This one.
Oh my God, where did all that work come from? You fold it in and you put the other one in.
We fold it in. We fold it in.
And you glue it.
No, we're going to do that tomorrow. This.
No, not yet, not even.
I would gladly give instructions if we could do anything without opening our mouths. Okay, once you have it folded, it's gluing in on page 93. They both fold into the middle. Here comes your last one.
Oh.
We've got 4 more examples and we're finished. Still got lots of time. Y'all separated. You still can't stop talking?
We kind of lost each other.
We need.
We did this so we don't get in trouble. And TJ kept
And I didn't even have to say anything.
TJ kept being fruity also.
Oh God.
Listen, TJ's the first one that backs his chair up to get away from the
2
I was
years.
a second.
I wasn't there.
I had to move because Andrew's sitting there keep getting late.
That's it. Chris transition.
That's that Chris gave some win. I'm dead. That for couple? That's correct.
We good?
Sabi, I've already given instructions. The fact that you did not listen is no longer my problem.
Finding some blue.
Okay, example 1. We need to break down 24. So what are my factors of 24?
6 and 4.
8 and 3.
1 and 24. I heard 2 and 12. 3 and 8. 6 and 4.
6 and 4.
6 and 4 add together to give me 10. So this is x plus 6 and x plus 4.
Give you it.
Okay, example 2. This time my C value is a negative. So we have to figure out which one of these are going to be a negative and which one's going to be a positive. So, -1 and positive 32 or +1 and negative 32? -2 and 16 or +2 and negative 16? 3 doesn't work. What about 4? -4 and +8. +4 and -8. Anything? 5 doesn't work. Does 6 work?
-4 and 8. That's it.
7 doesn't work. That's it. We're done. Huh?
-4 and 8.
6 and 8 is 48.
-4 and 8.
-4 and +8. Because I want a +4. So x minus 4 and x plus 8. So again, the hardest ones are going to be when your C value is a negative. Because I've asked for my stuff not to be unplugged. So this phone, whoever's it is not scary.
Why'd you take my phone to scary?
Because I've asked for my stuff not to be unplugged. There is no more plugging in of phones. Bull crap, I have it. I don't care. I'll take both of them to Miss Curry then, that's fine. We won't have to do anything about it.
I don't care. I'm getting my phone, babe. You got me shot, but I ain't even do nothing.
My phone, my room is no longer a charging station for anything. Honey, I already said that several days now.
I didn't hear you.
That's not my problem, because you don't want to listen. It's It's not my problem.
I was just sitting here. Listen, can I have my charger?
Oh, that's your charger?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am, you may. Okay, -12. What are my factors of -12? 1 and -12. -1 and +12. You said 2 and -6. -2 and +6. Go ahead, Seth. 4 and -3 and -4 and +3. Which ones are going to go together to give me a -1? -4
Oh,
and +3.
dang.
Okay.
You said we only want 40, Miss Smith?
Huh? Yeah, we're gonna do one more. We're jumping actually way down to the bottom.
What the?
Is there gonna be a Y value?
So it's like number 4. Where's the one that you said that one?
Is there gonna be a Y
That's
value?
exactly.
I said we are doing 4 problems.
Full copy.
We are not doing example 4 today. We're going down to example 7.
Ooh.
So we're gonna skip 4, 5, and 6, and I want you to shimmy on down to number 7. Okay, so what is different about this one that we didn't have to deal with every other one we've done today?
The first coefficient.
My first coefficient, x squared is no longer 1. But remember, I told you, when you factor, the first thing you should technically look for is a greatest common factor. So, is there a greatest common factor between 3 and -12 and -63?
Yeah.
Yes, what is it?
3. 3.
Thank you, Andrew. I can divide everything by 3 first.
Oh,
So when I do that, I now have x squared minus 4x minus 21. Now I can factor that. Once I remove my greatest common factor, I can factor the trinomial that's left behind. So now I need factors of -21. -1 and 21, +1 and -21. -3 and 7, +3 and -7. And Justo said that one's it. +3 and -7 give me -4. So this is x plus 3 and x minus 7. The thing that you need to not forget is I've already removed a 3. So that has to come out front. So my final answer then is 3 times x plus 3 times x minus 7. So once you get your 2 binomials, you also have to multiply that by your greatest common factor. Yes, sir.
So, would you say that you have to put a parentheses outside both of the parentheses?
Because, so normally, when we just did greatest common factor, we stopped here. Okay, so normally you would have started here yesterday, and you would have done this, and you would have given me this, and you would have put this around it, and you would have stopped. Because you didn't know how to go any further. Now I can break this up into x plus 3 and x minus 7, and because this was originally there, it has to drop down. Just like when you were adding polynomials and there was nothing to add or nothing to subtract, you just brought it down. There's nothing to do with your 3, so you just bring it down. Okay. Any other questions?
Yes,
Yes.
that 3 right there, you must call back everything.
So the way you would attack this first is you would FOIL everything through. So you would get x squared minus 7x plus 3x minus 21. You would combine your like terms and get x squared minus 4x minus 21. And then you would multiply everything here by that 3. So that becomes 3x squared minus 12x minus 63. Yes.
I thought you changed a negative value when you have parentheses, right? And you get the value whenever you multiply with, I thought it was a positive. Like, oh, if it's a negative,
Because a negative times a negative, it would turn it into a positive. But here you've got a positive 3 times a negative, which keeps it as a negative. Anybody else? Questions, problems?
Oh, God.
Oh, God.
All
right. This page.
yeah, homework.
Gets folded like this. And this page will glue in on page 94.